go. Let's go. What's up, everybody? Good evening. Hello. This is Gina Ifoe, the one and only African superstar with an urgent broadcast. First of all, giving a big shout out to the customers of the Afrikansuperstar.com. Please, as you come into the room, you should know the protocol by now. Make sure that you like the stream, be a part of the stream. Yes. Hello, family. Want to also give a shout out to our members only who support our platform on a monthly basis. Much love to you guys. And last but not least, all the lovers of the African Superstar Music Project. Those of you guys that are supporting and have been supporting, you are most cherished and appreciated. I have a show on Saturday in London. I will be at the Rhapsodies Bar and Grill. The program is, they told me it's supposed to start promptly at 8 o'clock. And I'll be doing 2 songs at the event. I'll be doing Star and Beach Chill, obviously the new singles from our EP. So yes, if you are around, please make sure you come. That is North London in the Enfield area. So yes, hope to see you there. I received some correspondence yesterday from one of the African Superstar family members. It was quite concerning, and I want to share it to you, which is obviously the title of this video, which is "Someone Threatened My Husband with a Gun and a Knife in Washington, D.C." Now, for those of you guys that are not in America, you may or may not be aware of the extreme gun violence that is happening this year. It's something I talk about frequently on this channel because obviously you only have one life to live. And the random and rampant nature of the gun violence happening in America is crazy. And there are many people that have this cognitive dissonance, which is it doesn't impact me. You know, I just mind my business. I just go to school. I just go to work. I don't live that kind of life. And there's always associated costs with your environment. Living in America is one of the most dangerous countries in the world. It's a fact. As a Black person, your risks are even higher because of racially motivated crime and systematic racism and police brutality. Nonetheless, you know, I know I sound like a broken record as I keep coming here and telling you guys the same thing. And I'm going to keep telling you the same thing because in my opinion, it is just negligent to remain in that environment and think that things are not going to impact you. So I did ask for permission from our family member to share with you the message that I received yesterday. Big shout out to the family. Hey guys, make sure you like the stream. We got 8. Which one of y'all is my moderators? Let me know what the likes is looking like. Hello. Anybody with a wrench next to your name is a moderator. Let me know what the likes are like. They need to be at 7 and I'll get started with the story. What's up, family? Hello. Are you in the building today? I know you're here. You guys like a lot of clickbait and you guys like a lot of drama on this channel. Not just you, but most people on YouTube. So I know you're here for what I have to share today. 7 likes, please. Moderators, let me know what time it is. Hello. Waiting on you. So please get on code, everybody. What's up, family? It's the one and only African Superstar. As you guys can see, I'm just totally tired, knackered. Tomorrow I'll be getting my hair done for the show. Yes. I have 2 shows left here in London this week. London on Saturday and then Luton on Sunday. What's up, guys? Come on, come on, come on. We got 10 of you here. Let's get the likes up to 7. Let's be on code. Hello. This is not new. It's not new. I'm waiting on you guys to share the story. I need 7 likes to get started with the story. While we wait on the African Superstar family, let's go ahead and have a message from our sponsor. Moderators, please let me know when we are up to 7 likes so we can get started with this correspondence I received from one of our family members yesterday. A lot of you folks living in America, you guys think it's a game. You have all the excuses in the world as to why you're not going to get yourself and your family into a safe environment. So I'm going to keep reminding you how dangerous it is, how random it is, and how it can actually affect you. Okay. After this commercial break, family, we need 7 likes to get the story started. Moderators, please let me know when we're up to 7 likes. You should be able to see the like count on the video. Let's be a part of it. Hello. One and only. I'm back again. African superstar on the track. It's the weekend, and ain't no place I'd rather be than here with you, and you here with me. Yeah. Got the sauce, boy. It's a beach chill. You ain't gotta lie, come close and keep it real. Swear to God, already know how you feel. It's a beach chill. It's a beach chill. You ain't gotta lie, come close and keep it real. Swear to God, already know how you feel. It's a beach chill. What's up, guys? Are you guys in the building? What's going on today? All right, let me check something here. I think there might be, StreamYard's been giving a little bit of problems lately. It might not be you guys. I hope it's not you guys. 7 likes, please. What's up, family? Let me just briefly check something, and then we can move on. So today I want to talk about this. This is a story that I received yesterday from one of our family members. And with their permission, I decided to share it with you guys because I thought it was just insane, but it doesn't really surprise me. The nature of what's happening in America is very, very concerning with the gun violence. And it's random. And it is affecting a lot of people. So I understand that recently, I mean, the gun violence has just been exploding in the US this year. Hey guys, what's up? I think something's wrong with the chat. I think something's wrong with the chat. You guys might be off the hook. Hold on just a minute. Hold on just a minute. Let's check something out here. Hold on just a minute. I'm still here in the building with you guys. Give me just a minute to try to troubleshoot and see what is happening with the chat room, because I think something's wrong with it. But please, 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 please make sure you get the likes up on the video. I want to see 7 likes to get started. So let's see here. I don't know what's wrong with this today. Okay, let's see. Details. Like chat. Okay, guys. All right. That should solve it. Hello. Let me see. Can come on, 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 come on. What is happening here? Shit. Okay, guys. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Anybody in the building? All right. Okay, moderators, let me know what the like count is, please. And then we can move on. Moderators, anybody with a wrench in the building. I do apologize. There was some technical difficulties with the chat. So if you guys have been trying to put your messages in there, sorry, it was not you. It was, it was not you. All right. Okay. Do we have 7 likes, guys? What's up? I'm adamant. We're almost 10 minutes in. Hello, come on. 7 likes, 7 likes, 7 likes, and we'll get the story started today. Come on, family. Please, I beg. All right. So I got this message yesterday from a family member. Let's go ahead and jump into it. Okay. Big shout out to the African Superstar family. If you are in the chat room, make your presence known. Please make sure you like the stream. Yes, yes, yes. All right. So the story goes like this. My husband just called me and told me that a crazy man in DC walked up to him and threatened him with a gun and a knife over a parking space. A parking space that my husband wasn't even parked in. He was mad because someone else parked in his parking spot, which is actually a public parking spot on the side of the road in a residential area. My husband was parked across the street in his work truck on his job, minding his business. The guy asked my husband if he knew whose car was in the spot. My husband said, "No, bro, I don't know anything. I'm here on a job working." The guy proceeds to tell my husband that everyone on that street knows that he always parks there. My husband was like, "Well, maybe that's a stranger, but there's a 2-hour limit, so he'll probably leave." Big shout outs to the family. My husband goes out about his business working. The person apparently came out and left at some point. My husband didn't notice, but eventually when my husband went back out to his work truck, the guy came over and asked him if he saw the person leave that was in his parking space. My husband said, "No, I was working. I wasn't paying any attention to that." The man got angry and started saying that my husband did him dirty and didn't look out for him. My husband was like, "I'm working. I don't know what you're talking about. How did I do you dirty?" So they had some few words and my husband eventually drove away. He went back to that site to work today, and the dude walks up to my husband talking about just because he's big doesn't mean he won't fuck him up. Then raises his shirt to show my husband that he has a gun and a knife. Proceeds to try to start an altercation with my husband. My husband was like, "Dude, I'm working. I don't know you. I didn't come here to fight you or anyone else. You want to kill your fellow black man over a parking space that he didn't even have anything to do with?" At some point, the guy realized he was being crazy and started apologizing. Can you imagine? If my husband had not been the calm person that he is, the whole thing could have turned into some crazy stuff on the news. This Negro was seriously threatening to kill my husband over a parking space. I am so bewildered right now. Big shout outs to the family. That is the story. I will recap it in a minute. What's up, family? ATM Tim is in the building. Brown coat blue. Yes, guys. Sorry about that. You guys were in here and probably ready and rearing to go. My bad. It wasn't your fault. It was StreamYard. What's up, MW? Big shout outs to the family. Yes, 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 yes. ATM Tim is from DC and it's crazy. When I received this message yesterday, my response was, as my response has always been, which is you cannot sit in water and be wet. I know that when it comes to, many of us that are born and raised in the diaspora, living in the diaspora, have made our life there. It's quite daunting to think that we may need to leave. We may need to entertain other options. That we can't just spend our life wherever we thought we would and things like that. But realistically, guys, with the imminent danger that goes on around us, the best possible decision that we can make is a proactive decision. Okay? Because I tell you guys all the time, and it's really not a laughing matter, but I tell you guys all the time that people that have become victims of these things never intended to be victims. This is a close associate of mine who sent this to me. Um, and, obviously, naturally, I know the family, and, they are calm, decent, upstanding people that work, mind their own business, and that kind of thing. Um, and this is just an encounter that could have escalated. We see so many encounters escalating, road rage and situations at fast food joints and workplace violence and school shootings. The people that have become victims in these scenarios never intended to be victims. They probably had the perspective that many of you have, which is, I'm just minding my own business. I'm just biding my time. I need to just save up $100,000 more. My kids are in this, all the laundry list of the things that you guys tell me. But I'm telling you, when you're in this kind of toxic environment, it can have a profound effect on you. I'm grateful that the situation worked out for my friend. I'm grateful that, her husband was not affected or hurt or anything. He was able to neutralize that situation. I would say definitely, if you are in um, a similar kind of situation where someone is being provocative and aggressive with you, I really, really encourage you not to provoke that situation any further, because people are not sound. In this scenario, which I'll recap it in just a minute. I'll recap it at the 20-minute mark. Big shout outs, guys. Please make sure you like the stream. Hello. Yes, yes, yes. I'm here to talk to you guys because, at the end of the day, I'm not selfish. I care about all of you that have become extended family to me, basically. I don't want to get a message or anything like that someone that, I know or whatever, familiar with online, has become a victim. I know so many of my friends actually that have had scenarios. I remember a couple months ago when they were having an active shooter at Michigan State University. One of my girlfriends who lives in Michigan randomly texted me, was like, Gina, I'm in a mass shooting right now. They're locking down the neighborhood. There's an active shooter. The school was very close to her house. I know one of my classmates, her uncle was killed in Dayton from a mass shooting at a bar. Somebody just came in, started shooting the people. Her uncle was killed. A friend of mine I used to model with, her daughter was killed at a park in Columbus, 17 years old. They were just hanging out. Somebody pulled a gun out, started shooting. My old hairdresser, her niece was killed in a night. I know many people that this is starting to touch. And I think, albeit dramatic and albeit involved, albeit expensive, maybe complicated, time consuming, I personally find that for me, the best possible option was to remove myself from that situation. We have been groomed to think that we can fix everything from the inside out, and some things you cannot. Sometimes situations are as they are, and the best way to handle that is to remove yourself from that situation, and I really think more of us need to entertain that. Okay, more of us need to entertain removing ourselves from the toxic and dangerous environments that we are in. Okay, you deserve safety. You deserve peace of mind. You deserve to be able to, not basically incur consequences to a lifestyle that you don't live. Okay, there's an old saying. If any of you guys know this saying, let me see a number one in the chat room. Live by the gun, die by the gun. Okay, which means when you live a certain type of lifestyle, let's say you are in the streets, drug dealer, organized crime, gangster, whatever, okay, you inflict violence on people, you live that kind of life, then when you become the recipient, you can't really have any kind of anything to say, because that's the life that you live. Okay, which means if you're not living that life, you don't deserve to have those consequences, in my opinion. But when you become an adult, you realize that in many cases, you have to think for the people around you. You know, in the terms of driving, it's called defensive driving. That's what my mom taught me. Defensive driving. Okay. When you're on the road, you don't simply drive your car. Okay. You drive your car for the person who's texting on their phone in front of you. You drive for the person who doesn't use their turn signal. You driving for, the person who's jaywalking across the street, or maybe the random cat dog that jumped out in front of your car. You have to be, you know, in your peripherals and seeing what's happening around you. And that is what is going on right now. Okay. That is what's going on right now. And we know so many cases of good people becoming victims of all these things. Big shout out to the family. Yes. Okay. So the first trivia question was, if you know the saying, live by the gun, die by the gun, then, okay, I'm going to recap the story now for anybody else who have joined us. Please, moderators, keep me updated on what the like count is looking like. Hello. Let's make sure it's up to par. All right. Big shout outs to the family. I know my homegirl is in here. She's saying she's having problems with the chat. She just texted me. Miss Jackson is in the building. Big shout outs to the family. All right. So let me go ahead and recap the story one more time. I know you guys, these kind of titles are riveting, isn't it? All right. So we did receive this message from one of the members of the African Superstar family yesterday. And with their permission, I wanted to share it with you. I'm always extremely concerned for my family and friends, my audience. That is just, I know everybody can't pick up and move. You guys always tell me that. But I really, really think and encourage you to, exercise your options of safety. If you think arming yourself is safety, response time, being aware of what's happening, some things you're not going to be able to respond to. I just personally think being outside of that environment is the best possible thing. We in the international community are not living with the same type of pretenses that those of you in America are living in right now. America is experiencing its most explosive gun violence year to date. There have been more mass shootings in America this year than days of the year already. And ongoing, So anyway, this is the fan mail I received yesterday. It goes like this. My husband just called me and told me that some crazy guy in D.C. walked up to him and threatened him with a gun and a knife over a parking space that my husband wasn't even parked in. He was mad because someone else was parked in his parking spot, which is actually a public parking spot on the side of the road in a residential area. My husband was parked across the street in his work truck on his job, minding his business. The guy asked my husband if he knew whose car was in his spot. My husband was like, "No, bro, I don't know anything. I'm here on a job working." The guy proceeds to tell my husband that everyone on the street knows that he always parks there. My husband was like, "Well, maybe it's a stranger, but there's a 2-hour limit, so he'll probably leave." My husband goes about his business working. The person apparently came out and left at some point. My husband didn't notice, but eventually when my husband went back to his work truck, the guy came over and asked him if he saw the person leave from the parking space. My husband said, "No, I was working. I wasn't paying any attention to that." The man got angry and started saying that my husband did him dirty and didn't look out for him. My husband was like, "I'm working. I don't know what you're talking about. How did I do you dirty?" So they had some few words and my husband eventually just drove off. He went back to that site to work again today, and the dude walks up to my husband talking about just because he's big doesn't mean that he won't fuck him up. And then raises his shirt to show my husband that he has a gun and a knife and proceeds to try to start an altercation with my husband. My husband was like, dude, I'm working. I don't know you. I didn't come here to fight or anyone else. You want to kill your fellow black man over a parking space that I don't even have anything to do with. At some point, the guy realized he was being crazy and apologized. Can you imagine if my husband had not been the calm person that he is? The whole thing could have turned into some news. This Negro was seriously threatening to kill my husband over a parking space. I am just bewildered right now. So that is the fan mail. And so obviously I did, ask for permission to share that with the channel. Like I said, those are close, family friends of mine, and these are upstanding professionals. These are people that don't run in the street. These are people that don't carry weapons. They're not gangbangers. They're not, in any type of realm that would merit this situation happening. Every day we hear about shootings currently in the US. Every day we hear about, so and so, male or female kids. And the reality is that for a lot of us, we're removed from it because we don't know these people. And it's tragic. And we're like, damn, that's messed up. But it's getting closer and closer and closer and closer to us as individuals. It's getting, to friends, maybe family, maybe our spouse. I know that, that would be just so disturbing to get that call from your husband or wife and say, oh my gosh, this guy in the parking lot just was threatening me, throwing me, showing me his weapons. And some people are just volatile. At least in this case, like I said, the husband was able to diffuse the situation, which I would totally recommend that you do if you find yourself in a situation with these folks that are very volatile, very quick tempered, maybe not sound. It's important that you neutralize that situation. Um, if people are threatening you as well, you need to be taking those things lightly. Not lightly. You need to be taking them as actual threats and, things like that, and trying to remove yourself from the situation. Although I watched a crime program probably last week about a very popular young rapper that was here in the UK. He was 18 and he was from Birmingham. Okay, and he was a very popular up and coming rapper and things like that. He went out to a nightclub and this guy was, very provocative, just kept trying to start with him, just kept trying to, kind of provoke him and things like that. And the young man just kept walking away. And he's like, man, look, I'm not trying to get into this with you. You know what I mean? Kind of thing. The dude left, came back with a knife and stabbed the other man and, the other boy, and he ended up dying. So even sometimes when you try to diffuse the situation, get away from the situation, these people will not relent, and I can't stress it enough for those of you guys that are trying to make the decision about changing your environment because of all of the dangers and all of the toxicity that is there. The gun violence is just one part of it. I talk about it a lot because it's very finite. It can have a tremendous effect on your life, the life of your family, your well-being, everything. But you have, again, the chemically modified food. You have the systematic racism. You have the road rage. You have the school shootings. You have the cost of living. You have the police brutality. And when I lived in America, I felt that all of these things combined, it was just a matter of time before one or several of these factors begin to impact me. You don't realize that all the days that you have escaped being in these things, that's a blessing, because the statistics are saying that so many people are becoming involved in these things, and kind of situations like this, where it's like you have an encounter with a complete stranger. That man was frustrated about the parking space. He was ready to unleash on any and everybody who came into his path. Okay. They never seen each other. They don't know each other, nothing. This guy was just ready to get it popping. I have dealt with unreasonable people in the past. If you've dealt with any unreasonable people in the past, let me see a number 2. What's up, family? These people, sometimes they're delusional. Sometimes they may be intoxicated. Sometimes they might have mental illness, and they're unreasonable. Marie says, I lost a baby cousin to a stray bullet. You never heal from it. And I mean, it's super tragic. It's super tragic, but we all have an opportunity to make decisions to lessen our probability. Some of you people are, I'm not going to say anybody immediately in my chat room, but maybe somebody who watches the playback. Some people are dumb. Okay. And they say things like, well, you're going to die anyway, and it could happen anywhere. Listen, probabilities is a thing. Okay. Heightened probabilities is a thing. Okay. If you were a sailor, all right, you could look out at the ocean and say, okay, hurricane can happen anywhere. Okay. And I'm just going to sail my boat no matter what. But you could look at, okay, well, if I go to Southeast Asia, the probability of them having a monsoon or tsunami is higher because it's more frequent in that part of the world or whatever. Looking at the probabilities and the statistics is very important. What you guys experience in America is not probable, for instance, in the country I live in, Ghana. Do we have light out sometimes? Yes. Cultural differences? Yes. Rough roads? Yes. Lack of jobs, and you're going to have to be creative about how to the way forward. Absolutely. But mass shootings? No. Police brutality? No. A lot of things that you're just dealing with. Chemically modified food? Not like the West. The foods that they sell you guys in America, they're illegal in some countries, such as the UK. Um, it's a lot of dangerous factors confronting you guys. And obviously, I come here to talk about this on a regular basis as kind of a illumination of other options for you. Because there are other options. Now, you're going to have tenacity to utilize those other options, because the world we live in does not want us to be able to abandon the West, for instance. They want us to be the consummate consumer. They want us to be the workforce. They want us to be the taxpayer. They don't care about our quality of life, and they don't care about our safety and our mental well-being. And, you've got to advocate for those things if those things are important to you. I don't know how those of you with kids feel comfortable sending your kids into these schools. With the danger that persists. I don't know how those of you guys with male children feel comfortable with your sons being out and about. I don't know how. I mean, it's huge cognitive dissonance. It's huge cognitive dissonance. The dangers that are around them are very, very real and prevailing. And even in some cases, your kids, they may not want the decision that you ultimately make, but that's why you're a parent. Because you got to make decisions on their behalf to keep them safe or whatever. I think that the environment is so toxic for our young people. And I know I've been using the word toxic a lot in this broadcast, but I mean, it's really the the perfect definition of what that environment is. There's a reason why a lot of our people are dysfunctional. There's a reason why a lot of our people are not flourishing. There's a reason why a lot of our people are having emotional problems and things like that. It's their environment. Their environment absolutely contributes. Even if you are a very resilient individual, very intelligent, well educated, ambitious, your environment will start to impact you. You cannot get around it. And so that's today's broadcast, guys. That's what I came to talk to you about. This is, like I said, a chance encounter. I'm glad that, he did not become a hashtag. It would have just been so absolutely devastating, but the reality is that with the frequency of violence, I mean, guys, with the frequency of violence, it's absolutely going to start touching more and more people around you. And I just hope and pray, that it's not you. If you work in a field with the public, especially, huh? EMT, medical professionals, teachers, you know, bus drivers. There was a video that came out a couple weeks ago of these two, the passenger on the bus and the bus driver getting into a shootout on the bus. And the bus driver actually shooting the passenger because they got into an altercation and he was threatening him. And then the bus driver was like, bump that. And he pulled out the gun and shot at the guy. All these things where you're interacting with the public. Okay. I'm sure that heightens your probabilities. And this is not fear. This is not scare tactics. This is an adult conversation among adults. This is a very real thing that you face. And our people have historically been reactive to a fault, which means we don't look at the big picture. We don't avoid things. We don't predict or plan. We just respond to tragedy or things after it happens. That is an unwise way of dealing with life. Being proactive is the way forward, and get rid of the concept that life's going to be easy, guys, especially when you decide you want to take an unconventional path. Oh, especially when you decide you want to take the unconventional path. Absolutely. It will be, not always smooth. Absolutely. But maturity, our mission statement, guys, who knows our mission statement? Who knows our mission statement? Big shout outs, guys. We have 28 of you. Hello. I'm going to do shout outs. So make your presence be known in the chat room. You can support as well. Feel free. Alexis says she recently had her trip to the continent. She says the natural and healthy taste in food, especially the fruits in Africa, blew my mind. Absolutely. While I'm here in the UK, I didn't even try to have fruits. I tried it first to take watermelon and it just tasted so nasty. And I was like, nah, I'll just wait till I get back to Ghana. I'm not here that long. So, yes, the foods, it's not great. RN says there was a stabbing here in Kansas City on July 4th where a supremacist went into a gas station openly saying he will bleep up an N-word in front of the witnesses. Wow. Definitely not going to happen in Ghana. He picked a fight with a black guy who walked into the store and stabbed him several times. He's only been charged with disturbing the peace. Wow. Was the man killed? I hope the man was able to survive. Lord have mercy. Learning Miss O, I hear your message loud and clear. USA environment is harmful, emotional, and sometimes physical. Absolutely. Yes, and you're in DC. So this is where this situation happened. Happened yesterday. I got the message yesterday. So I hope that, like Learning Miss O, you hear what I'm saying. I'm doing my due diligence of of reaching out to my community, encouraging them to make the decisions that need to be made. I think that we have really invested a lot of ourselves into the West, personally. You know, we have really invested ourselves in the West, and if we're honest and we look at it, are we benefiting the way that we want to benefit? And a lot of our people, all that matters to them is money. Okay, so and this may be this American dream. Okay, I've got the house, I've got the cars, I'm well educated, blah blah blah. In some cases I earn well, but you know the psychological price tag that you must pay your life to be living there, where double standards are rampant, in many cases that there wouldn't even be justice for you if you get caught up in one of these situations. Now, in this case, RN is telling me about this man who was randomly attacked in the gas station. Okay. I'm sure he didn't have any inkling that he was going to have that encounter when he went into the gas station when he left his home that day. Now, I'm sure he's probably left behind definitely a family, maybe in some cases a spouse and children. Just like that. For being in the wrong place at the wrong time and encountering a situation that is rampant and prevalent in his environment. You know, it's not to be played with, guys. And our mission statement, did anybody put the mission statement in? I asked for the mission statement. Hello. Wait a minute. We got 25 of y'all. Does anybody know the mission statement? Who knows the mission statement? Big shout out to the family. I'm looking for the mission statement. I'm going back. I don't even see it. Hello. Who knows it? Who knows the mission statement? I don't blame your son. Any of you guys with young black males? I mean, look at what is becoming of their predecessors, and ask yourself, stop being narcissistic, and ask yourself, what's any different between those black males that are facing so many things, facing so many threats? Everybody wants to play the blame game. They don't want to acknowledge the very real threats that are threatening our young black males. They want to exterminate our people. And they're going to start with the men. Because to destroy the men trickles into the community. And they're doing a marvelous job, between the incarceration, turning them into homosexuals, gang activity, police brutality, so many young people are being killed. And that's the next generation. So you need to think about it in terms of how it impacts you and your family. You got young black males, they don't need to be there. If you can get them to safety, get them to safety. The cost is high. I'm so disappointed in the family right now because we have 28 of you guys and none of you know the mission statement. The mission statement of this channel, hello, is SMP. It stands for strategy, maturity, and patience. Okay. You guys ought to know that. Hello. SMP. All right. So please know where you are and what's going on. Know what's going on, guys. All right. SMP. That's our mission statement. I can't believe all 27 of you guys don't know it. It's not acceptable. Hello. I'm trying to help you guys. All right. Trying to help y'all. SMP. That's the mission statement. So, that's what I'm talking about when I'm talking about these topics, which is strategy, maturity, and patience. Okay. You've got to have a strategy. Okay. You've got to develop a strategy as to what you're going to do about what is happening around you. You've got to have maturity as you operate in your strategy. You've got to understand it's not going to be a bed of roses. You need to have some tenacity. You need to be creative. You need to be ambitious. You need to be unapologetic. All of that stuff is part of maturity. Okay. Anticipating cultural differences and people's anomalies and all this stuff. It's all part of maturity. Not getting bent out of shape when things that you know will happen start to happen. All right. Patience to see it through. Understanding that the very first time you attempt something, it may not work out. Okay, you may need to try a few times or whatever. S&P, guys. So that is today's live stream. Big shout outs to the family. We had several of you guys here. I hope you guys liked the stream. My moderators, which is anybody with a wrench, let's do better next time in terms of like count. Let me know what is going on in the chat room. I do know there were some technical difficulties earlier in the stream, so sorry about that. But yes, please, let's get on code in the house today. Big shout outs to the family. I hope that this was meaningful to you guys. Again, you are in America. Please just try your very best to avoid a lot of engaging with the public. I saw also yesterday, I think it was also in D.C., a group of teenagers, they took a lift and then they shot and killed the driver of the lift. I used to drive Uber when I lived in America before I moved to the UK. I put myself into these situations and think to myself, what would I do if it was me? What would I do if it was somebody that I know? And those are some of the driving reasons why I made the decisions that I made. And I tell you what, I 150% do not regret leaving America when I did. Is the best decision I have made in my life. And even as I continue to try to, navigate the path and the way forward, I'd much rather do that than be in that situation. So I encourage those of you that also have similar ambitions of getting out of that environment to figure it out and go for it. Go for it. Go for it. It will be worth it. You will never regret not having to be a part of those probabilities. You know what I mean? I believe that the probability of me meeting a white supremacist in Ghana that wants to randomly stab someone at a petrol station, I believe that probability is very faint. So yes, that was today's message. All right, family. So we're going to close it out naturally with some Beach Chill. Hello, my latest music video. So please, guys, make sure you view it on YouTube. Make sure you add it to your streams. One and only. I'm back again. African superstar on the track. It's the weekend. And ain't no place I'd rather be than here with you. And you here with me. Yeah. Got the sauce, boy. It's a beach chill. You ain't gotta lie, come close and keep it real. Swear to God, already know how you feel. It's a beach chill. It's a beach chill. You ain't gotta lie, come close and keep it real. Swear to God, already know how you feel. It's a beach chill. Man, it's such a banger. I'll be actually performing Beach Chill at my show on Saturday. I'll be opening for a very well-known high life artist here in Ghana. Well, here in the UK. He's a Ghanaian high life artist named Kofi Nats. He's very good. He actually came to my album release party on July 8th and he supported me there. So I'll be opening, but I'll be doing Star. Hello. Yes, I'll be doing Star and I'll be doing Beach Chill, which are the 2 singles off of my brand new EP, STAR, available at Bandcamp. The details are in the box below if you want to add that to your collection. You can also find me on all the streaming sites, so please do add me if you're into my music. We're moving upward and forward with the music, so that's always exciting. All right, family, until we meet again, stay black and true. If you ain't black, just stay true.